go ahead and thank you guys, number one, for joining us here. But your thoughts, just overall.
I think we're going to look back at this UConn dynasty as one of the most dominant that we've ever seen. I mean, just think, we talked last year about they won all 6 of their tournament games by double-digit points, 13, I think it was. Now they've done that again 2 years in a row, and keep in mind, they only brought back 2 starters, right? 5 of their 8 top scorers from last season were gone. The closest thing was the last back-to-back champ we saw with Florida, and even that team returned Joakim Noah and Al Horford. That group wanted to run it back again. So I don't know, man. With Hurley, I'm getting a lot of like Kirby Smart type vibes, won 2 championships. Now, I pulled up UConn record by year. So Dan Hurley didn't make the tournament his first 2 years at UConn. Then first round losses the next 2 years. So all those teams whose coaches are underperforming or hadn't really gotten past the first round. We just saw Matt Painter make it to the championship. And now Dan Hurley back-to-back championships in one of the most impressive fashions we've ever seen.
Yeah, it's unbelievably hard to win it. Right? It's even harder to win it back-to-back when the target is now on your back. And look, I watched Nick Saban dominate college football like nobody else for a long time. I mean, there was a stretch, where the teams that he had, it just felt like they were so much better than everybody else that were played. It almost looked unfair. And when I see what this UConn program has become and what they continue to do, especially after tonight, it's starting to look exactly the same. And they're not just beating people, they're destroying them. Plus 140 point differentials, new NCAA tournament record. Now, look, they didn't beat Bama by 30 points. They still beat them by 14. But there was just another double-digit NCAA tournament win, this time in the national championship game. I find it unbelievably impressive. And they don't just win because they're really good at one thing. They excel at pretty much every facet of the game. We've talked about this multiple times, and they continue to play like a team with the chip on its shoulder. That's the hardest part. Now, unlike Saban's teams, they might not have the most talent when it comes to the number one recruiting class, but they are one of the most talented, and what separated Saban wasn't only the recruiting success, but getting the most out of the most talented guys to play the cleanest and to play the smartest, right? To never panic, to never waver, regardless of score or circumstance. And man, that's exactly what Coach Hurley's doing at UConn. And, I was very excited about watching the game tonight. You have Zach Edey, who's obviously a superstar in the college game. We'll see what he does in the NBA. But, I think we have to start, and I know there's still a while to go, and he didn't have as many championships, but I think we've got to start talking about the way that Coach Hurley goes about his business and the way that he is dominating the sport. Blaine, it looks like the way that Saban was dominating, when he had Bama at his highest point.
And if you're UConn, you have one job now, and that's to keep your head coach. Because Kentucky is about to come throw everything they have at him. Everything they have at him. And whatever the price is, UConn, you need to pay him. All right? And I go back to that interview, and there's certain guys you can just tell. They had that look in their eye. Yeah. When Dan Hurley said, if you're going to get us now, because it's coming. Mm-hmm. All right? And that's what he was talking about. And it feels like it's just beginning. It feels like the journey, it's already 2 natties in the bag, and it feels like they're getting better.
Yeah.
And the one thing about Dan you can do, schematically, one of the best in the game. You can watch UConn and see their system on offense. There's a lot of teams you watch, and I have no idea what they're attempting to run. 2, the way they're coached, physicality, effort. And that's a straight extension from what? That's an extension from your head coach.
Yeah. Well, they say hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. You know what beats all that? Talent that works incredibly hard. Yeah. And the maniacal attention to detail. It seems like every possession, but I think the most impressive thing, and we can go through, schematically, they do great stuff. A lot of people do great stuff schematically in college basketball. Yes, they recruit well, but I can never tell if UConn is up 10 points or down 10 points. And to me, in a game that is 2 halves long, in a season that is this long, in a single elimination tournament, that is what keeps your North Star there and helps you survive. But we say that, there's always that one game or 2 games where they're close in the NCAA tournament, you just scrape by. Not UConn. They don't play anybody close. They don't play anybody close at all. It's unbelievably impressive, to watch, almost as, well, about as impressive as betonline.ag. We
Yes.
try to go there. Use promo code Booster. Shout out to them. Fantastic job during the NCAA tournament. Remember, if you go to betonline.ag, use promo code Booster, you get a 50% instant deposit bonus of up to $1,000. That's betonline.ag. Use promo code Booster. BetOnline. The options are endless. But, David, you're MVP of the game.
Well, I think you'd have to go with Tristan Newton,
Yeah.
right? I mean,
What was his
Tristan
final
Newton
line? Do you have it
ended up with 25 rebounds and 7 assists.
Yeah.
And 25 and 7.
And it was almost quiet. I tell you, a guy I thought controlled the game in its biggest moments. And you got to give Klingon his flowers, right? But you know, I thought Cam Spencer, man, like, it seemed like whenever they needed an effort play, whenever they needed a toughness play, whenever they needed somebody to go in there, and even if it was fouling somebody, there were times where Cam Spencer got in there and mixed it up. He just seems like a tone setter, and he seems like a guy that, I know they got multiple leaders on that team, but is he the flashiest? No. But damn it, when he shoots it, it goes in when it matters, and he makes the big play when it matters. Final line, you probably got to go with the guy you went with, but I think there's multiple guys from UConn.
Yeah, I'd go with Cam Spencer as well. I think Newton did a great job, but when Cam Spencer was not in the game, you can tell UConn's offense took a dip, right? He wasn't only making the floaters, making the runners, he was controlling the pace of the game.
Yeah.
Effort plays, the right pass, the right drive, putting yourself in the right situations to be successful. That's what Spencer not only did for himself, but that's what he did for UConn. And I do want to give a lot of credit to the Johnson, the backup center.
Yeah,
for UConn.
We talked about that.
Not coming in and being flashy, doing a lot, playing defense and making the play when you need to. Had 3 alley-oop dunks.
Yeah.
That were huge
Like all in a
momentum
row.
swings.
Yeah.
Huge momentum swings. That's the guys you need. Like the guy who came off in Purdue.
Heidi?
Hiding, had that
That was his
slam.
only 2 points.
Only 2 points. But it's a momentum play. And games like this in basketball, it's about runs.
Yeah, and I think there was a point in that game where you could have seen Purdue kind of make a run when Sampson, the backup big you were talking about, had 4 fouls, and Klingon had 3 with like 13 and a half minutes to go. But again, I know Sampson ended up fouling out, but Klingon was able to go in there and handle business, and you know, they didn't panic. They didn't say, oh God, now we just got to open the barn door and let Zach Edey just run through and score 10 points in a row. But I thought on both sides of the ball, both ways, UConn was the better team. And David, you know, there aren't many things that you can have both ways, all right? Especially when it comes to clothing. But you don't need to sacrifice comfort for style like you don't. That's why you always look good and you're super comfortable. And thanks to our new partners over at Mack Weldon.
Yes.
It's just honestly a pretty badass name to begin with. What is Mack Weldon? Well, they make timeless apparel with modern performance fabrics for guys who want to look and feel sharp without sacrificing comfort. They have a full range of clothes that never go out of style, from their light as air underwear, feels like it's not even there, yeah, that rhymed, to their anti-odor tees. I'm telling you, they do it all. Their Ace collection is on another level. I love the crew neck sweatshirt. Everybody knows that. You see me walking around Nashville. I know it's getting a little bit warmer. I'll still rock it. But the soft micro brush, ooh. It is so.
Got to give an air horn alert for new sponsor alert.
We love it. We're very excited to be partnering up with Mack Weldon. So go to mackweldon.com and get 20% off your first order with promo code Booster. That's MackWeldon.com. Promo code Booster. That's mackweldon.com with promo code Booster. I'm telling you guys, the selection is awesome. The comfort is even more awesome.
Yes.
And we're just excited. We're excited they're on board.
So here's what I ordered. I ordered the joggers,
I did too.
polo, the tee, and a pair of boxers.
I ordered 2 pair of boxers, 2 pair of joggers.
Oh, you went 2
at the same time?
Yeah, at the same damn time.
I love that.
Really, really pumped for them to come.
Yeah,
in. So
appreciate
use
it.
that promo code. I feel like we would be doing a disservice if we didn't mention Castle's name too. He just
Huge piece.
So effective on both ends of the floor. And we noticed this too when he was guarding Mark Sears against Alabama. But this time, Castle had 15 points in this game.
It's like everybody did something.
Everybody did their job. I mean, keep in mind, Zach Edey still had 37 and 10.
He ended up with 37?
Yes, 37 and 10. They lost by 15.
That just feels like the difference in college basketball. I don't think one guy can win it all in college basketball.
No.
I don't.
And
I
that's
think
good.
he can in the NBA.
Closest
That's
I've ever
good for
seen
the
is
game.
Anthony
I think
Davis.
because Luka
And
Doncic
he had
dropped
help.
73 points. You're not going to see that ever.
Well, go back to the Tennessee-Purdue game. That was just Dalton Connect versus Zach Edey.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Mm-hmm.
But
One guy scored 40.
When you run into a team with 1, everybody's pretty damn good. 2, no one cares who gets the bucket.
Yeah.
All right. And Dan Hurley, everybody eats. Everyone who sits at the table eats. You want to talk about a recruiting tool?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's just not Zach Edey. We're not trying to get one guy. If you come to UConn, you're going to eat.
Which that's funny you say that, because when I was trying to think what's the most impressive aspect of these back-to-back seasons like this, it's that UConn really doesn't have that huge name star. They don't have the guy who's the best in the country.
Yeah.
Now, when you look at Kling, they're big this year, and even more so, I thought last year, Sonogo. I mean, Sonogo was one of the bigger names in the tournament, but still, it's like you don't have that one guy who you can point to and be like, well, that guy's the best NBA player we're going to see in 5 years. They're just giving it to you any way you want.
And that's why when we talk about that Purdue team from earlier with Ivy, with Williams, with Zach Edey, and I'm pretty sure they had another guy, that's a team that's built to win a championship.
Yeah.
Right? It's tough. It is tough to run through with just one guy.
Well, listen, if you're Purdue, obviously you're down tonight. I think you got to look around and say, hey, we got beat by a better team. But I think, again, after what happened the year before, losing that early in the tournament, I know Zach Edey's got a younger brother, but an incredible career from Zach Edey. Matt Painter did a hell of a job with this team, being able to take, really a team that was a one-trick pony. I mean, let's be honest. Braden Smith played a lot better than he played the game before. If he didn't play well tonight, they may have lost by 40, if we're going to be honest. But Matt Painter and them have absolutely nothing to be ashamed about.
Good for them.
At all. Yeah, good for them. Purdue, they're going to be a stalwart, especially since Coach Painter's there. If we got some donations, I want to get to those and then want to talk about Good Ranchers for a second. We can.
Okay, I think I've got to most of them, but I know we have 3 left. Let's go to Casey Powell with the $10 donation. Casey, thank you. Storm and Mormon here.
Yep.
Kind of get on that Dodgers bet and match the 50 as well. Just got my 3-blade Jeremy Razor subscription started.
Oh.
Also, thank you guys for having the conversations others won't. You're welcome, Casey.
You're welcome. Precision
We're not
five.
afraid, buddy.
We'll conversate.
We're not afraid at all.
Precision Razor. Next
$2 donation from Jared. Jared, I don't see anything under that, buddy. I'll go back and look and see if I can find it. Let's go to a $5 donation. Jace Tales. Today's my level up to 21.
Let's go.
Just want to say,
how are you still awake right now?
Just want to say, Cone, the Stros just toasted the Rangers.
Did they really?
It's a good series.
What's their record right now?
4-6. We're still so early. We still got 500 games of Major League Baseball left. But no, just quickly before we get to this.
Got a couple more.
4-7.
Sorry,
You
go
were
ahead.
close.
Go ahead.
$10 donation from David S. Fun fact, UConn's the first top overall seed to win the Natty since 2012 Kentucky. Louisville was the top overall seed the next year, but their title got taken away.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, they beat Michigan in the championship that year. That was the Trey Burke and Tim Hardaway Jr. year at Michigan. Remember Trey Burke hit that shot against Kansas?
Yeah.
Man, that year.
So cold.
That was nuts.
God, and that Louisville team was so good. They lost to, and then that got vacated. Does that make Michigan the champs?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
I
think it
believe
does.
so. Let's go to a $2 donation from Cuse Mode. Will Blaine be singing One Shining Moment tonight?
To himself, probably.
If I knew it, I'd sing it.
Also, it wasn't fake news. The Braves did lose to the Mets 8-7 at home. I don't know what's going on. I'm in shambles right now.
Listen, I don't.
David, I appreciate you taking you doing that for me today.
What's that?
Taking Purdue.
Look, man. Every once
You
in a
and
while,
Vic. Big
I
shout out
take one
Vic,
for
too.
the-
Yeah, dude.
Big shout out Vic.
Vic.
Fade Vic keeps going.
Yeah, it does.
keeps
Hashtag
coming. Live
fade
that
Vic.
life.
If I know you're wrong, then I know I'll be right.
Yeah, but I hedged that with the TTP for UConn 75.5. We're scoring 75. Missing by the hook.
Look tough.
So,
Oh,
God.
look, some people don't forget, Dan Hurley.
Oh, no.
David.
So whatever team you're coaching next year, I'm calling a championship win before the season.
Hey, you got beef with Dan Hurley now?
Now I do.
Well, look, the beef's not as
Let
good
your
as what-
son shoot that shot at
Yeah.
the
Yeah, that beef's not as good as the one that Good Ranchers have. Again, if you watch the show at all, you know how much we love our Good Ranchers sponsorship.
Yeah.
If you're tired of not having the best beef, chicken, or it costs too much, you're not getting the quality for what you're paying for, and it weighs less every time you buy it from the store, well, guess what? Good Ranchers has a sizzling with the extra sizzle solution for you with their price lock guarantee and during their April Price Shield campaign. Good Ranchers, they're not just offering a temporary fix, but a long-term solution. Don't be me a problem unless you have a solution. Good Ranchers does. Subscribe to one of their boxes and they'll lock in your price until 2026. I'm not a calendar creator, but that sounds like 2 years. All right, goodranchers.com is where we get our most tender, flavorful meat, beef, chicken, pork, wild-caught seafood. They do hams. Like during Easter, it's a smorgasbord, man.
Mortgage board.
Yep, you almost got it that time. There's no reason to order takeout when you can make something far better at home. Let Good Ranchers upgrade you. All right, Beyonce style.
Yeah,
and right now, when you go to good, sounds just like that. Right now, when you go to goodranchers.com and use our promo code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, you'll get their exclusive price shield, like I said, and an additional 10% off your order. And this offer ends at the end of the month. So don't panic yet, but I'd start panicking. So if you want to secure your best price on meat until 2026, go to goodranchers.com, my friends, and use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. That's goodranchers.com with promo code BOOSTER today. I almost screwed that up.
Do it now.
But I didn't.
Do it.
You're eating all the food he just mentioned. You're eating that food.
For sure.
Right?
Yep.
So why not get it from a place, you're Patriots. Everyone listening right now is a Patriot. We know that. And that helps this show. It's the Michael Scott win-win-win.
Win.
Don't wait on it.
Speaking of winning, I feel like we forgot about something.
What? I probably did.
Cole. Oh, Cole!
48
Cole!
G's. You're welcome.
Cole, I hope that was a real bet.
I hope it's real,
10%
Cole.
for
I
your
hope that's a
manager.
real bet, dog.
I hope it's real, dog.
And now,
100%.
hey, and listen, if that is a real bet, you've got to watch every live stream from here on out.
Every single
'Cause we're
one,
right there
dude.
with you. There may be 3 holes in the wall.
I can't
but
imagine
you won.
putting.
Oh,
I couldn't do this.
no. Blaine, that was like
48K.
10
I put
times.
$5,000 on UConn. I'm over here losing my mind.
Yeah.
40. You're putting 50 bands.
Blaine's basically going to go try and fight Bruce Willis while
50
Samuel L.
bands.
Jackson rolls around in a wheelchair and helps him out. That's basically what it turned into. But it worked.
It did.
Part of
Big
it.
shout out, Cole.
A lot of it, Cole, you should thank Victor, too.
Yeah.
Vic, you should
Hashtag.
appreciate
Hey,
it.
thanks for everybody in the chat
Yep.
if you donated.
Appreciate everybody. Y'all know how we do these live streams. Got some more great ones planned. Got a great show for you in the morning, live each weekday morning. Maybe some movement. We'll see. But we appreciate you guys have live calls and a live chat. Great stuff tonight. Thanks to everybody in the control room.
Great job, y'all.
Everybody hooked up to food. Another successful live stream. And like the 2023-24 college basketball season, we're going. Gone.